Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Busterland with me, Buster UV. I'm real close, there we go. It's better. Can you see my little cat in the background? I have a new one. We have finally found a little kitty cat, which is probably more similar to my own cat, who is a calico cat named Billy, and that's exactly what this cat's going to be called here. But cat's out of the way, what do we have planned for today? Let's have a look at the board, shall we? Ah yes, the never-ending board where nothing ever seems to go down. We have got some more things to tick off of this list today, and let's begin with one or two things that I know we can do with relative ease. You see, the general mob farm is going to get me everything that I need in terms of gunpowder, in terms of bones, string, everything that I need just for general mob purposes. A mob farm will do me wonderfully. And having a bunch of villagers all set up so that then they can get me all the traits I need stone-wise means I don't really have to do that much adventuring. There is so many different types of different farms that are on this list as well that I'm struggling really to get them all fit in. I mean, this is a long-term world, so really I don't have to rush too much with it. I mean, we can just take our time. But I think we'll get these two farms underway, and then let's see where we're at, shall we? So, first one that I think we're going to get on with is going to be this one, the stone house. So I have taken away the plaque, let me put that back up there, and if you're ready, if you're steady, and let's get building a stone house. Are you ready to see it in its final form? Yes, I kept messing this one up. The time lapse is all over the place, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do with it until I started to do it. So it's finally done, and you can see it just here. It's very similar to this one. I only realized it after I'd completely built this whole thing out, that I had effectively just built what is another version of what I've already got over there, which is where the sugarcane farm is. So yeah, I kind of made a mistake with this one. However, the block palettes are very different. It's all stone across the bottom. I've used copper just across this top bit here, which is aging. I don't really like how it's aging, so I kind of want to keep this shiny, which means that a bee farm is probably going to be an imperative part of my buildings. But more on that later. This is just all stone. It's also got, bricks, and it's also got just a little bit of granite that's interwoven through it. I wanted it to feel sort of like overgrown, so I've put in more leaves than I normally would do, and I've also got the red and black bricks at the top of the building as well. Down below here, I kind of want to turn this into an outside workstation, hence the crackly fire, but I also kind of want to do a few other things as well with this outside section. Just sort of make it feel a bit older, a little bit more run down, and just kind of put some stuff into here that, I don't know, that's just going to kind of like match the exterior of the building. I like it, but it could be better, and I just think it's in the finer details that I need to start making a few adjustments to it. As we go into the building, I have got rows upon rows upon rows of people at their workstations, and just a little bit of a grindstone hit. Not that I need it with all of these grindstones as well, but I have some empty shulker boxes, a workbench, and a bed for whenever I feel like sleeping, but they are all set to master, so I basically can get the quartz that I need, I can get all the terracotta that I need, I can get all the dripstone, the cut stones, anything that I'm going to need I can get from all of these villagers basically. So you can see here brown glazed terracotta, which is something that I use a lot of in my floors. I also love this light blue terracotta, which I can use for my buildings, mainly my roofs. Yellow glazed terracotta, which I'm using as well. So yeah, it's just a good place for me to, pink for the lamps, it's just a good place for me to get everything I need, rather than me having to fly around the entire server and get everything. And then this is just some storage spaces. You can see that I've been trading a lot just to get everything that I actually need from these guys. And the main thing that I am interested in, the main thing that I want, is the quartz blocks. And that's because eventually we're going to be doing a giant rainbow castle. And yeah, I am going to need a lot of quartz. Oh, that's too far. I'm not 100% sure how, but the idea of the rainbow castle is basically going to fit into the shirt that I'm currently wearing, which, as you can see, is rainbow coloured, white and grey. And that's exactly the same idea for me having my rainbow castle, with blue and purple accents to match my eyes. I know, it's going to be cute, right? It's going to be really cute. That, however, is a very long way away, and I've only just begun to start preparation work for that. It's going to be a lot of trading and a lot of intensive collecting, but I think where we stand now, we've got a good groundwork for it. So I think we can move on to the next thing that I'm going to need. If you're looking for proof that I have begun the groundworks for my castle, then look no further. You can see here that this is basically giant flattened out land, and this is going to be the beginnings of where we're going to be building the rainbow castle. It's going to be huge, and when I say huge, I mean huge. Literally, I want it to fill out this entire section around here, potentially even be coming into where all of these flowers are here. The actual beauty of this place is underneath this entire section, so where this sort of weird looking tombstone is, right the way down there is the entrance to the end gateway as well. So this is effectively just going to be one giant castle, which is keeping the end safe and secret. Well, not very secret, but definitely safe. But yeah, for what I have planned, it's just become a chicken nesting ground at the moment in time, but I am going to fill in all of these gaps here, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be something like a 50 by 50 by 50 by 50, just in terms of like the castle gate yards. That may be too small, so it might actually be a couple of hundred potentially. I've been having a look around a creative server, just trying to get a rough idea across, and effectively, can you see where that landscape is there? It may end up reaching where that landmass is there, and then stretching all the way around. Effectively, the flower biome will be left pretty much untarnished. These hills in the background obviously will act as a kind of backdrop, but effectively from where you can see the sand block there, it's going to stretch across, and it's going to stretch all the way across this bit here, and then it's going to stretch all across that bit there, and then it's effectively going to, where the shipwreck is there, stretch across there. And we're going to basically have this thing moated, and we're going to have a giant bridge which is going to reach from my current home, and it's going to stretch all the way over to the castle as well, effectively being the Pillarstone central of what this entire Busterland experience is meant to be. And who knows, maybe at the end of me building the giant castle, that might be the end of the series. But I haven't decided just yet, and for the time being, I've not even begun to put the groundwork in yet. So we'll leave this where it is at the moment in time, just so you all know, that's what I'm thinking. I love approaching Busterland now. Look at it, it looks so busy. Everything's here that I want there to be. But there is still far more to go. And I think it's about time that we get on with the next thing. And of course, the next thing is a general mob farm. Now, I've built one of these before. It's going to look completely ugly. I don't have a design to cover it just yet anyway, but I promise you that will be coming very soon. So I think until that time, why don't we get on with this, shall we? If you're ready, if you're steady, mob farm. We can take this one down and we can put this one up. I'm just going to put up here bee farm because that is probably one of the more essential things that I'm definitely going to need in this place going forward. I also think I'm just going to take this down as well and just put that back up and then put in there armory. Armory. And I call myself a writer. The armory. The little the re. There we go. Yeah, we'll do. Oh, I can't. I'm a terrible speller. Anyway, okay, right. It's all done. It's all done. Let's go and take a look at it, shall we? And you can see it from all the way over here. I kind of wanted it to sort of hide out away from everything else. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, you can see all of the bad guys on there already. I'm kind of not 100% sure what the sort of look is. Also, I realize that this is way too short and needs to go up much higher for it to be a platform for me to sit in. But effectively, this is one of those standard mob farms that you see on pretty much everybody else's, builds. It's just going to get me everything that I need in terms of bad guys and all of the mob drops that they're going to produce. It's a relatively simple farm, and by that I just mean at the bottom here there is soul campfires. Those lead into hoppers, which lead into chests. You can see here everyone drops in and starts to die, and then basically fills up my little chest at the bottom, and then I have active open storage at the top here. And this is just literally so that then I can fit everything if I wanted to. Take all of this out from here and just put it into here. So it also means that I now have a ton of gunpowder that's being produced all the while, and that also means that I am pretty much now never going to run out of rockets. So good for me, I guess. The way this farm works is with an etho hopper clock, which is just located on the top. And I've built one of these before, but now I feel like I'm a little bit more versed in redstone, a little bit better at it. I'm not saying that I'm mumbo jumbo, but I am saying that you better watch out. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So how this works is really quite simple. You basically have two comparators, one at either side. You also have an observer, and you also have a note block here. The note block is being powered by redstone, which sits on top of an observer at the bottom. This observer basically views this redstone block here, and then you've basically got in here a hopper which has got slabs which are basically transmitting backwards and forwards. Effectively, it counts down to 32, goes into this one, this then reactivates this shoots to the side, and then the 32 start going into this side, this then reactivates it, then pushes it to another side, blah 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 blah. See, I know redstone, I know what I'm talking about. What this then does is it activates all of the water units at the bottom, gives a little bit of a flush to everything that's there. I do have a slight issue at the moment in time with the fact that spiders just seem to get caught just on the side panels. So it may need a little bit of a increase just on these edges. But at the moment in time, I'm still quite happy with the drops, and I don't think it's going to be an essential thing for me in the future. And now I shall sink to the briny depths. There we go. Sorry, hold on. There we go. I don't know if that worked. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm saying. With the mob farm done, and of course with my stone yard done as well, then this basically means that I have 2 more farms that I can add onto my list of completed tasks. However, if we take another fly up into the skies just to get ourselves a little aerial view, look at it. It's really coming along. However, there is a lot of green space. There is a lot of spaces where things are not being done. There is a lot of stuff just lying around. I mean, this is for an up-and-coming project. I'll just give you a little sneak peek in here. I think it's probably... Nope. This one, which kind of just highlights exactly what my next step of things is. But, I mean, for the time being, I do actually have some villages. Because some people are probably wondering, how is it that your wings haven't died yet? How is it that your tools still keep on magically coming back to being like full every 2 seconds? Here's why. Hello. I have here mending, I also have here silk touch, and I have here unbreaking. And yeah, I've had these guys for a little while now, just been leaving them there so that then I can basically make sure that I'm not using my tools too much and that I'm also able to repair them. But I do have other enchantments that I want. So in this section, this giant section here where you can see there's not much going on, it's kind of flat, it's kind of boring. Yeah, this is going to be the bookshop, the giant bookshop. And I have a design in mind for it. It's going to look pretty cool, especially if I can pull it off as well. I've been adding more and more land just onto this section. As you can see, the water used to come straight up to the edge here. Now the land basically just stretches all the way across, and it's going to probably be just spanning around a little bit more just onto this section here. This area is basically going to be the dockyards, which is why it looks so square at the moment. It will be filled in with everything, and then obviously it's going to extend out. And then over in this section over here, just at the edge of where the farmland is, this is where I'm going to basically be creating the stairwell. Well, the stairwell, the sort of like the bridge, which is going to extend over into where the castle is. So we've got some ideas, we've got some plans for how everything is, but I kind of want to set up a little bit of this is the nature show today. I don't have music for it. What I want to do is to create some custom trees and a little bit of custom wildlife just in the local area. You see, this was originally supposed to be a place like where I would put up some trees, where I would fire up some sort of like benches, and I would just make it look really cute and almost sort of like scenic. I kind of have that to do now, and I think that we can probably get into it together. Let me explain. I have recently been watching some videos of some other YouTubers just going through trying to get a little bit of inspiration and idea. And one of those is A Good Times with Scar. You may have heard of him. And he's got some custom pink trees in Scarland on Hermitcraft, and I really want to try and emulate that here. You see, the lights are slightly pink, as you can see in there. The wood I'm using is jungle, which also kind of has this sort of pinky hue to it. If you put it down, you can see there is a kind of sort of pinkness to this. And I just think it would look really cool, kind of like having some sort of pink blossom trees up and around this place. It may be that as I sort of extend through Busterland and change it up a bit, that we kind of go for something that's a little bit more different colours. Like, I have the red and the blue tree over there for the nether, and everything is kind of like rainbow inspired. But I think if I can kind of use a mixture of different pink materials, you know, maybe using something like pink concrete, mix and matching that with pink wool, some pink terracotta, some of the glazed and glass, and then using that with potentially something like dark wood, you really do get a strong contrast between the two colours. And I think that it could be something which just sort of stands out a little bit more in the local area and fills in this kind of patchy grasswork that I've got going on. Because at the moment, there's nothing more boring than just seeing, well, plain grass, which you don't really want. So I'm trashing the place because my spade is really, really strong. But I'm also going to be, I think, making this up a little bit more and just trying to upbuild it. Let's try and build a custom tree together, shall we, and see if we can get this right. So I'm not 100% sure just how I kind of want these to look. I have a rough idea, but I don't really know. Definitely dark wood for the base, and then I'm definitely thinking I've got 2 sets of pink concrete. One of them's the powder form, and then one of them is the solid form. I've also got the 2 sets of pink glazed terracotta as well, which I think will come in handy, and pink wool and pink glass. So effectively, I do have practically one of everything in terms of pink. And I think I could probably get something going with this. I've also got in here some pink banners and some white banners just to kind of break up the contrast. And I also have some jungle trapdoors as well. That might seem a little bit of an unusual one, but I promise you it's going to work itself out. In terms of lighting, I do also want these trees to have some form of method of light. Shroom lights are probably the more sort of natural of them. After all, that's what I've used up there in those trees. It may make them look a little bit neathery, which I'm not here for. So I have also got some glowstone, and I've also got some other lights as well. Just one moment. So I also have lanterns, and I've also got glowstone as well. Now, glowstone I don't think looks the best. This one probably fits in the most, but I think lanterns are probably the way to go. I could use glowberries. The problem with them is they look green, and I don't really want these trees to look green. So I think I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot a little bit here just to make these, but let's see what it looks like. So we'll begin in this section here. I've done custom trees before. They are not my strong point, but I can pretty much get a grip of them. I'm thinking about this high, and then I kind of want the branches to come out just up here a little bit. And then I'm also thinking potentially maybe in this section as well. We'll go like that. And then I'm thinking we can put one more here. We'll do this as a 3-branch set. So maybe something like this, I think could work. Maybe. This might be a little bit too far out, but at the same time, I don't really know until I start putting things down. So effectively, I'm wanting this to be a baseline of wool to begin with. And what the wool's just going to do is it's just going to help me kind of get a feel for where everything's going to go. I can amend and adjust later on as I'm going along. But I think so far, I just kind of want this to be sort of, yeah, a little bit like this. I think I'm probably going to have to go up a little bit more. Maybe take some bits away like these 2 sections here. Perhaps maybe do that. Now we're getting too low. So here's the problem when it comes to custom trees. You don't want this to feel like it's just this tiny stump here. But at the same time, you know, if you kind of go in the way that I'm trying to go, which is to try and make this seem a little bit more angular, you might need to sort of build the stump up a little bit. I think that's probably what I'm going to have to do. Bear with me a moment. We'll just tear this down and then we will go a little bit higher, I think. So you can see the direction I'm sort of wanting it to go in, almost this kind of way here. So going up using scaffolding, you can kind of create that sort of look and the feel that you're wanting with it. I'm thinking to sort of build this level out here, and then I'm also thinking just to kind of bring it out in this section up, so that then this entire top section here effectively becomes almost domed in some way. Okay, that's probably 1 stack of wool, and I've barely even scratched the surface of how I want this to look. So this is going to take a little while. Let me get out as much wool as what I can. This is probably the reason why I stacked in so many wool blocks with me. Let me go back up. So you can see it's a weird shape at the moment in time, but that's because it's not finished. But as you can see, I'm kind of getting it up into these sort of spirally points. Now, do I think that the wood underneath is about right as well? No, I'm not 100% convinced. So I do just kind of want to try and thicken this pillar line up just a little bit. Maybe so that then it just looks like it's meant to be a little bit more like that. That's probably too much. Let me just take some of this away. Yeah, so it's a little bit more like that. We could probably even strip some of this as well, just to sort of make it look a little bit more one in. So now I think it is literally just the actual shape of the top. This entire bit here, that's really blocky, that's really wispy, and then the other side just looks strange, just kind of like an attic. So what we sort of want to do now is kind of bring in the other textures and the other shapes. Well, the other textures, because let's face it, there isn't really much else we can do in terms of shape because it's all square. But we can at least start adding in other parts of this as well, just to make it look a little bit more fulfilled, a little bit more sort of different in its kind of like contextual shape and style. And we can just add in some more solidifying colors, like for example the more sort of stronger toned pink of the concrete. We could also kind of contrast that with one or two little dots of terracotta, because whilst the terracotta itself is pink, it doesn't look that pink. And then I think if we really want to sort of like edify that this is kind of meant to look flowery, I would probably say adding in the pink glazed terracotta is the best way to go. It even has a sort of rose tinted sort of pattern to it. And I think that as we currently look at it now, you can see that we're starting to get somewhere with it. Trying to figure out shapes and how to create something in Minecraft, or at least making it more organic, is probably one of the hardest things that you will ever do. And that's because you kind of want it to look natural, but at the same time, what is natural when it comes to Minecraft, right? So it's hard. You kind of have to shape and go, shape and go, shape and go. However, I am just going to just do a few more, just add in a little bit of a finishing touch in here, and I will be right back. Hold on, let me just get this right. I want to try I'm going to create a little bit of I'm going to try and create a bit of a shot. Look, I am no cameraman, so let's see if I can do this. And a ready, and a steady, and a... And it's done. Ta-da! Look at them. I have got some pinky trees, and they took a little while to do, as most kind of custom trees tend to, but I am really happy with them. I have kind of bow mailed the ground, and I've just decided to place in flowers of the varieties that I want to see. So whenever you like bow mail the ground, you just get a random style. It's either going to be red, yellow, or blue, I think. I wanted the pink tulips, I wanted the lilacs over there, and then over there you can just see the whatever those are. Alliums, there we go, alliums. Oh, I need to learn up on flowers. So I have done the full tree, and as you can see, I've added spore blossoms underneath as well, which is creating this kind of like particle effect, which just kind of makes everything feel a little bit more sort of wild and kind of out there. I've also added in some of the vines as well, some moss on top too, just to kind of make these look like they're sort of cemented in here. And it does just kind of bring the green from the grass up onto the actual tree itself. I've also added in some trapdoors here, just kind of like add a little bit of decoration almost structurally as though they've been teamed on. I haven't added it in this one just to kind of compare the difference in the two. Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. I mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of neither here nor there. It sort of still looks cool even without it, so I'm happy with whichever way we sort of go. I've also made this one a lot bigger than the other two as well. Okay, there we go. And I've also put these little red bushes around, which are basically just acting almost like they're going to try and kill me. But this is a cute spot. This is a nice little place just for us to sort of sit down and just be able to take in the surroundings of Busterland in a just nice little kind of way. This will need to be extended across the entirety of Busterland, and to try and basically turn this into a little bit more of how it kind of feels to be natural. You can see that even in this section here, everything's starting to feel a little bit more real. Well, when I say real, what I mean is a little bit more thought about. I want to turn this into an actual gardenscape just for the back of my house. And then with this section over here, I'm kind of thinking that the apiary is going to be in this section, but I'm not 100% sure. I've not really thought about it. The apiary is only going to be small. Yeah, I'm thinking more like a round sort of building to go in this bit. There's a zombie underground somewhere, and what'll happen is I could just kind of turn it into sort of like a little bit of a treed off section around here, lots of flowers, lots of plants, and basically turn it almost like sort of like the honey fields, a goldeny sort of style building. I'm not sure, it'll blend in with this quite nicely, and it'll blend in with the gardens that we'll have in this section over here. So I don't really want to run around and do too much decoration, mainly because I don't want it to be pink trees everywhere. Do you know? These just are the kind of nice thing to add in this section. But I just want this to be a gardeny. This is going to have another building, and I just want to sort of change it as we go along and sort of add in different styles and different colours to it. But so far, I think it looks really cute. We've really made a little dent in how this whole thing's going to look. So yeah, from either side, from wherever I look, I can see that we're starting to take shape rather wildly around this area. And I'm really liking it. I'm really liking when Busterland is coming. But there is still so much that I have to do. Loads. I'm not even scratching the surface of what Busterland's going to look like yet. You think that we're anywhere near done? We're literally just getting started. I have only got time for this today, and also I kind of want to just have a little chat for a moment and just say I'm sorry that we've not been able to get them out weekly. You know, things have happened, stuff is stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm back, and we're going to keep trying to get our videos out weekly, keep trying to get these things done and sorted. I have a long way to go with Busterland, but it's really helpful that you guys are here supporting me, so I want to say thank you so much. If you've liked what you've seen here today, then make sure you leave a like button. Hit the like button. Hit it whilst you're flying. This is crazy. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. Oh. That was bad. And also, if you're in the liking mood, why don't you leave a comment as well? Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about what Busterland is like at the moment in time. Is there any particular build you want to see? Is there any particular episode you want me to do? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I think I'm going to spend just a little bit of time walking around my world with my shaders on, just so that then I can enjoy the brand new beauty that is the beginnings of Busterland, and that looks absolutely crazy from this part over here. But you guys, thank you for tuning in. I can't wait to see you all again next week, where we can do even more stuff right here, right now, in Busterland. I'll see you all next week. Bye. Bye.